Hello everyone and welcome to this week's tutorial on ProRPA.com. Today we'll be talking about wait stage. So wait stage is one of the most critical stages that anybody can use in their RPA program to make it more reliable and efficient. And what happens is I have given a use case, a possible scenario in the blog post as well. So feel free to check that out there. That, let's say, the first and foremost step in automating any process is to understand what the process is about, right? And let's say you search for chocolate boxes on Amazon.com. Now, to start with the search, the first step would be to open the Amazon.com webpage. Now, the second step, which is to write the chocolate box word in the search box, in the search bar, is contingent on the fact that the first step, which is the loading of the web page, actually went on successfully, right? I hope that makes sense. And there is a possibility that it may take time for the web page to load because of any like number of issues, right? Could be some internet connectivity issue. So it could be some server unresponsiveness issue. Could be your browser not up to date issue. I mean, anything, right? So to make sure that, the first step has executed successfully, the second step needs to get processed or get executed. That's the legible sequence. And to make this sequence legible, we can use the wait stage. What wait stage is going to do is it's going to wait for an element to appear on the screen, which is going to corroborate to the fact that yes, the previous step has actually executed successfully and that now you can proceed to the next step. And let's say for some instance, if your web page didn't load at all, right? It shows that the error 404 or something, that the web page doesn't exist. Then what are you going to do? The bot is going to keep waiting to start to write the word chocolate box in the search box, in the search bar, but that would never appear because the web page is not loaded at all. So in that case, you may want to end your process, right? Or do any other recovery mechanism, whether it could be, let's say, try to reload the page a couple of times before finally giving up on it, or try a different browser. Could be anything, right? So we're going to take one such example and we're going to use the wait stage here. As you can see in front of us is a business object, right? We have already talked about the read and the writing stages. So if you haven't checked that out, please check out in like earlier blog posts for last week and the week before. But now what we're doing is we have an application like this, right? And based on this drop down menu's value, our execution path will be chosen, right? Let's say if currently it is account, then in the system value, then the first one, which is this UI name and path, the first one, the first condition right here would be executed. So after start, it's going to wait and it's going to see here. It's going to go down there. If it is going to be client, then it's going to go the second route, which is this one. You can definitely name it a bit different. Let's probably do that. Account uname. This is client uname. And the last one probably is going to be the patient one. I'll show you because that's the value we have in our drop down right here. Okay. Now, what we're going to do is based on whatever the value is, the data entry portion of the automation use case is going to happen. Like username would be account username and account password. If it is going to be client, then it's going to be client username and client password. If it's going to be patient, it's going to be a patient username and patient password, whatever. Right? That's how it is built. Now, a lot of people would think that probably we can do this with the decision stage as well, right? We can probably read this particular this UI element value, and based on that we can do the decisions. Well, that is true. That is definitely doable. But in many cases, like one of the cases that I have shown there in my blog article, you may have, excuse me, you may have different elements which only exist at a different, you know, at a different, I would say, tab or at a different scenario. Let's say, just for hypothetically, right? When I select account, instead of username and password, I have some other additional fields. So I may want to proceed in that direction using data for all those fields, and then let's say logging in or pressing the enter button, whatever the case. Let's say for client, I have some client related issues like client ID. So client ID is not going to exist in the account or in the patient system, right? So to get the specifications, you may want to have like different elements exist because of the different options, and you can use the check element option only within here, like within the wait stage. You want to wait, and let's say if none of these appear, or if there is none of these options exist, then you may want to go the default route, which is after the timeout route, and then go to the end stage, right? So let's try and see if this works. I'm going to show you what I've done in the wait stage configuration. I have, actually, let's go back a little bit. Let's first open the application modeler, right? And in the application modeler, I have username right here, right? Let's probably do a highlight. Here's the username, right? Let's have password. There's the password. Now system, this first system account is for the account one. If I highlight it now, it should be displayable, right? It's highlighted. But if I do the client, because the client doesn't exist, so you see an error occurs. Now, if I choose the client, then all I gotta do is highlight, and yes, the client is actually shown in here. If I do the system account now, then it's gonna show the error, right? Same is the case with system patient as well. So I have these elements handy, and in the wait stage, I am checking which of the elements exist, right? Whether it's system account, system client, or system patient. And I'm using the condition check exists, which is the most frequently used condition in the wait stages. I'm checking whether this element exists. If it does, if it is equal to true, if it actually exists, then follow this route, the first one. The second condition is for the client route, and the third one is for the patient route. So we're checking these conditions, we're entering the username and the password, which is account username and the account password. I'm putting just static values here just to showcase that this was the route that was chosen. And just these values. In here, I'm using client uname and client password. And for the last one, I'm using patient uname and patient password, right? Just any values just to showcase which one it is working on right now, right? That makes sense. And let's probably make it a bit like this. All right, let's reset and let's run this. Now, if you see, there is no current stage. Okay, because we haven't reset it yet. All right, running, start. We are waiting, and the client one exists, so it's writing client username and client password. That's it, ending. I'm not even pressing any login button as of yet, right? This is just to showcase which route it chose. And you must have seen that it highlighted the stages which were being executed at the time of running, right? If I choose patient, right, then you can see I'm going to reset it here, and let's run this, and you see it went to the last one, patient username, patient password, and done, ending, right? So wait stage, actually this example that I'm showcasing here is an example of intelligent wait. By intelligent wait, it is actually seeing which condition satisfies, and then it chooses a route of execution there and then. There's a possibility that you want to wait just whatever the case may be, right? That static wait. So I've mentioned that in the blog article as well, that if you want to just wait for 5 seconds no matter what, then you can select that by not having any conditions at all and just putting the timeout as 5 seconds. What timeout is doing is it's looking if there are any conditions. If any of those satisfy within the next 5 seconds when the execution starts for this stage, then it's gonna go through that conditional route. If not, then it's gonna go through the timeout phase. Similarly, if there is no condition at all, it's after 5 seconds, because it's still gonna wait for 5 seconds, right? No matter what, or whatever the case may be. You may put in 50 seconds, you may put in just 2 seconds. That's totally user's prerogative. But after those 5 seconds, if let's say there are no conditions, then it's gonna go to the timeout stage, and the further execution of the bot will take place, right? In this case, it is directly ending, but there may be a possibility that we may want to, let's say, we may want to write in an Excel sheet saying that, oh, we actually went through the timeout phase, so please check manually later, or something like that, right? Just to let the user know that this particular record or this particular operation didn't work. So you may have to do that yourself and not through the RPA bot, right? That's another that's something we'll be discussing more when we'll be talking about the error handling and stuff. But yeah, that's a very good recovery mechanism that you can follow using the wait stage as well. Trust me, in different clients that I've worked on so far, intelligent automation is one of the pain points which developers tend to overlook, and then they sort of regret at later stages of the project. So you may want to add as many intelligent waits as possible and make your program, make your RPA bot as robust and efficient and reliable as possible. All right. Hope that helps. Let me know if there are any questions or concerns. You can definitely check out the Amazon resources that we have available across worldwide. You can also check out the YouTube link, the tutorial, or my blog articles, which I post weekly on ProRPA.com. You can share, you can comment on it, you can let us know your feedback. You can also reach out on my email, which is info@ProRPA.com. And we are putting out the course. We are unpublishing our courses from Udemy for the time being, because I think there might be some changes that we'll need to do. So you can probably wait on those aspects. But other than that, if there are any questions or concerns regarding this particular module or anything about the RPA, please don't hesitate to reach out. I'm your only guy, Vaibhav Chen, and happy automating. Goodbye. Thanks.